Hi everyone. 皆さんこんにちは。
こんにちは。
So today we do new things for the first time collaboration with the well-known influencer. He's a African Japanese mixed guy, Nigerian Japanese. I knew him because he's famous in the SNS, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. And he grew up in Japan when he was a kid. Then I researched for our information George, Leon living in Japan when they are kids. Then I found the interview black people living in Japan. He Mr. Jesse interviewed, so I knew him. Then this time he came to us. Then we asked some questions to him. This is a very good opportunity.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity to know someone's experience.
Please come. Here's Mr. Jesse.
Hello.
So please introduce yourself.
So my name is Jesse, and I'm 24 years old, and I was born and raised in Japan, and I moved to the States when I was 12. So my native language is Japanese, and my second language is English. So my English might not be that good, but still learning. And I graduated from college 2 years ago, and I came back to Japan. So yeah, and I make contents about Japan for foreigners on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. So yeah, that's a quick introduction about me.
His content is very interesting.
Thank you so much.
I know he's like a character when he's interviewing to the Japanese people, and he speaks Japanese like very polite and humble. So I think he's very reliable.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So in his SNS link, I put on our description. Put on his SNS description. Please check it out.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice.
Nice to meet you, Jenny. Nice to meet you, Mr. Koga. And George.
And Leon. Leon later come to ask question to Mr. Jesse.
こんにちは。
Konnichiwa.
Let's move on to the question time.
Okay.
I have some question.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Let's do it.
This is all about our information in the future because Leon and George living in Japan.
Right.
They are childhood grew up in Japan.
Right.
So I want you give us advice.
Okay.
The first question, you grew up in Japan when
Right.
you were a kid.
Right.
So what's your difficulties?
Okay.
And also what's your benefit as a
Right.
Nigerian Japanese mix?
Right. So I guess I can start off with some problems or difficulties I had growing up in Japan as a kid. So in the beginning, since like I have darker skin than other people around my age, I always like try to see what other people thought about me and try to like always not caring too much about what other people thought about me. And I think that negatively affected like my me mentally. And also like let's say like people will like randomly touch my hair for no reason because like usually they're not really familiar with curly hair like this. So sometimes that bothered me. And also like let's say if I go to like a supermarket or convenience stores, usually they don't speak to me in Japanese, they speak to me in English even though my native language was Japanese. So it was like sometimes it was hard for me to like understand why people treated me differently compared to my other peers around my age. So I guess that would be some of the difficulties I faced.
You stayed in Tokyo.
Yeah, I was born and I grew up in Tokyo. And even though there are a bunch of like people from different background, I still like had trouble because people around me, they're still like mostly Japanese people, and it's still like homogenous country, Japan as a whole. So yeah, those are some of the troubles I had.
That's difficulties.
Right. And like especially as a kid, you don't really know too much, and like right now I'm like 24, so like I understand, and I understand how like people didn't really know people are not really familiar with like foreigners like they are right now, but yeah, back then I didn't really know, so yeah, I struggled back then.
Okay, tell me first, how did you overcome?
Right. So I feel like I overcame those difficulties by putting myself into like the international community. So let's say like I'll find this like after school there are like some gakudo where I could like just go and like meet with like people with similar background as myself, and by doing that I feel like I was able to share like my difficulties, and also be able to like do stuff that I kind of like hesitated to do with other Japanese people because maybe they might view differently. So that's like one of the way I managed. And secondly, I think I was able to like overcame those difficulties by like playing sports and being active. So by finding like similar hobbies as my other peers, I was able to make friends much easier, and that's how I made a bunch of friends and didn't struggle too much later in the elementary school and middle school. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That make friends who are same background,
Right.
and play sports or
Right, because like I feel like when you're a kid playing sports and like those are like the thing you can do to easily, yeah, because like you don't really need a language to be able to play like let's say football or basketball. If you're good, people will be like, oh, join my team, and yeah, that's how I was able to befriend. Right, and I guess the benefit, right. So the benefit I would say was that since my dad is Nigerian, my mom is Japanese, and I grew up in an international community. I mean, I grew up in an international family. I always had like a mindset. I always had like a multicultural mindset, and yeah, thinking like more broadly in terms of how I view things. And also like I guess having like both Japanese and Nigerian family, the food was always good. Japanese food and having Nigerian food, those are the best. And fufu, yes, fufu and like Japanese food I love because it's healthy too. And also like me being able to like travel to other countries because my parents are both like pretty like international. So yeah, I just seeing things from the worldwide perspective. Yeah, what's the benefit?
Yeah, that's perfect. But
Right.
yeah, the international mindset.
Right.
But especially in Japanese, like school, they are when you are kids, the kids think about school is all about.
Right.
They don't know the other world.
Right.
That's why they have difficulties.
Right,
Even
right.
I think Leon has some of these difficulties.
Okay. But definitely like I think since like mostly if you go to Japanese public school, it's mostly Japanese people. So like I think like enrolling in like some after school international community would definitely like help broaden the perspective and see things in a bigger world, I guess.
Thank you very much. Next question. So, how about your parents' discipline?
Right.
How did your parents raise you? How was it very strict, or Japanese style, or African style?
Okay. So I'll say both my dad and my mom, they're both strict. So my dad is like traditional African dad where he's very strict about education. He really cared about education, and my mom also cared a lot about education. So like when I went to school in Japan, they didn't want me to like go through like bullying or getting like discriminated. So they sent me to an international school. Right. So like I think that helped me like improve my English and also like maintain my Japanese. And they always wanted me to like have a worldwide perspective, so they also sent me to school in the States. So in terms of education, they're pretty strict, but they're very like supportive. Right. But whenever like I'm in Japan with my family, they care a lot about coming back home really early, and also like let's say when I'm going outside, they wanted me to like dress nicely, and they're pretty strict about like how I appeared in public. And yeah, so education was like the big part of our family. So like even I have siblings, and they all go to school outside Japan because the English level here in Japan is not as good compared to other countries. So yeah, I was sent to the States, and I think that's how I was able to improve my English and be where I am today. Yeah.
How about mom?
Oh, my mom, right. So my mom is like, she's not as strict compared to my dad, but like I guess like, whatever, like let's say my dad is like, okay, you have to go to juku, or you have to get tutoring. My mom will just be like, my mom is like supportive of my dad's decision, so it was like a good balance. And my mom is like a little bit she's very kind and nice. So let's say like my dad is disciplining me. He disciplines me. Then my mom will like maybe like take care of me afterwards. Yeah, so like very supportive mom as well.
Like Japanese mom.
Right, Japanese mom.
Yes.
Yes.
It's your turn, Jimmy.
Jesse, right?
Yes.
That's right pronunciation.
Yes, Jesse's.
Jesse. Okay. Just would like to know, which nationality do you feel comfortable with?
Oh, so like which nationality do I feel more attached towards?
Yeah.
So I feel like since I was born and raised in Japan. Oh, first of all, I've never been to Nigeria yet.
Yeah?
Yeah, I haven't been to Nigeria. And since I haven't been to Nigeria and I was born and raised in Japan, I feel more attached to my Japanese roots. But I would love to visit Nigeria and like get to know more about my other roots, because I haven't really gotten the chance to do that, because I was studying in the US and not really getting to like meet a lot of my family from the Nigerian side. So yeah, I'll say Japan for now. Yeah.
Since you've never been to Nigeria, that answers my second question.
Okay.
So, would you like to go to Nigeria someday?
Right. So like I was hoping to go to Nigeria like 2 years ago, but the pandemic happened and I couldn't visit. But like hopefully in the near future, maybe like even next year, I'd love to visit with my family and like get to meet all my Nigerian family.
Grandparents.
Right. My grandparents, and like even try authentic Nigerian food in Nigeria. Right, fufu and egusi soup. Right.
So next, Rio has some question to Mr. Jesse. Rio, don't be nervous.
Did you have friends at school?
Did I have friends at school? Yeah, I actually like had a few friends from school because I played football, basketball, so I played sports. So that's how I was able to make friends. Yeah.
What did you do after school?
Okay. So after school, do you know karate? Yeah. So like my dad wanted me to like stay strong. So I did karate, I did judo, and also my dad sent me to Kumo, which is like tutoring in Japan. So yeah, that's what I did after school.
Karate, you just started last week.
Yeah, we just started.
Oh really? Do you want to show us some moves?
Very shy.
You're very shy. What did you learn in your karate school?
How to block.
Okay.
And also, what's your favorite food?
My favorite food? That's a good question. I'll say my favorite food right now is Japanese curry. Yeah. Do you like curry? Yeah.
He was expecting you to mention something like Nigeria.
Nigeria. Oh, my favorite Nigerian food is jollof rice.
Jollof rice.
Yes, jollof rice. Yeah. Sometimes like I even go to like African restaurant in Tokyo and get jollof rice, get egusi soup, and yeah. Do you like Japanese food? You do? What's your favorite Japanese food?
I like ramen.
Ramen noodle. So thank you for coming to us today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we get very good advice. As I told you, our kids follow your experience in your future. So keep in touch and give us advice regularly.
Definitely. And like thank you so much for having us, and I had a great time talking with you guys and just interacting with you guys. So thank you.
Hope you enjoy today's collaboration, first time collaboration video.
Thank you so much.
See you in our next video.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye.